here on another episode of the Coach's Corner, man. We got another special guest. We have Coach Delgado. He joined us today from Missouri Southern, man, and we're glad to have you on. Like we were saying earlier, man, I do this to get frequently asked questions answered. Okay, I'm a coach. I play a little bit of ball here and there, that kind of thing. But one of the things that I want to do is I want to be able to get questions answered from coaches that are actually doing it, are actually at that level. So parents have a full understanding of what's going on. Now, here's the deal. Look, I need you to be real. I need you to be authentic. I don't need you to sugarcoat anything, okay?
I
So
got you, man.
when fans ask these questions, listen, this is what it is. Can we do that? Are we in agreement?
Absolutely, man. You got it.
All right, man. Well, shoot, then we can rock from here on out. All right, man. So look, so let's start it off this way, man. Tell me about yourself. You know, who you are, where you're from, how you got into coaching, how you got to Missouri Southern, and all that, and just let the people know who you are.
Well, it's kind of an odd story. Really not coming. I grew up in Juarez, Mexico, so that's a town right off the
Okay.
border from El Paso, Texas.
Okay.
So I went to high school there. I did a couple of years of college there. I grew up playing football. My whole family played. My uncle, he's been a head coach for my high school down there, and for like 20 plus, maybe 30 years. I don't know.
Okay.
He's been coaching since really, really, really young. But anyway, I grew up around the game, and I just fell in love with it. And I got to the point where I just decided where this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to coach college football, but I had no idea how to do it because like things are really, really different. So, but me, the positive thing about being from you know, from Juarez is that you have El Paso right next to it. So all you gotta do is just cross the border and
Right.
just try your chances. So I
Right.
actually
Right.
went to community college down there. That's where I started
Okay.
my education. I went to community college down there, and then I transferred out to Auburn University. That's where I finished my degree. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and the the goal was to go to Auburn because they had it's a great football program and just
Yeah.
hopefully just try to find a way in the door and and just do something with the football team. But
Okay.
things happen, COVID hit, and nobody's getting hired, nobody's getting out.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things when I actually couldn't do anything up until I graduated. Actually, I started working with them in football camps. But
Okay.
at this point, I have already decided I was going to go to grad school to Florida State, and
Okay.
so I was there for like 2 months, and then I went to Tallahassee. Um, I got I got Tallahassee, and same deal. I was trying to get in the door, and again, Florida State has a great history, great program, and that's what I want to do, and just go work with them. But
Yeah.
surprise, surprise, things are not that easy. You just can't just walk
Right.
in a room and just say, "Hey, I'm gonna work here." Um,
Right.
so what the situation was, I got there, they weren't hiring anyone or
Hmm.
getting anyone in. So I actually met a professor that knew the defensive coordinator at Florida A&M, FAMU.
Okay.
Um, and they gave him a call and then asked him if they needed some help. And sure, they needed someone. So I actually started doing some work with special teams and the tight ends over at FAMU, and I did that for the 2021 season. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I was a volunteer, student assistant, slash whatever y'all needed. I was gonna do it. And then after that, I found an opportunity to actually start working as the front desk guy, the guy that will answer the phone at Florida State. So I took the job, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get in the office and see if I can find some my way into it.
Okay.
Sure enough, a couple months later, you know, one of the student assistants got a GA job in Miami, ended up leaving, and there I was, man. I was the first one in the door, and I got my chance.
Boom.
I spent the 2022
That's
season
good.
with the defense over there. I was a student assistant and learned a lot from really great coaches. But I had a great opportunity to work alongside one of the best probably I mean, the staffs that I've seen. And I mean, they had a great run last year. Hopefully
Right.
do it
Yep.
again this year. But after that, I graduated with masters. I did it for a year, and then I was like, okay, I could stay here, or I could just try to do the coaching thing. And
Okay.
I was fortunate enough to actually get a call from here from for Missouri Southern, and I became the running backs coach. So yeah, that's how I got here,
Man,
man.
I like that. That's a nice tried and true story, man. You worked your way to the level. That's interesting. I have a lot of coaches that I ask that question to, but I like that story in particular. Something that you wanted and you worked your way to the top, man. I think that's cool. I kind of like it. You know what I mean? So look, let's get into it. Let's get into brass tacks. Let's talk about football players.
Okay.
Okay. When we talk about football players and we talk about the value of a football player, what is valuable to a football player to you? Okay. So that's kind of my first leading question to the recruiting aspect. But overall, we're coming down, we're traveling, we're trying to get you to join our team. We see certain elements in you. What are those things that you guys want, or specifically, what do you look for when it comes to a football player, and what do you value in order for them to be added to your program?
Well, the biggest thing, I guess, is just about developing a relationship.
Okay.
I always say this to the guys that I'm trying to recruit. Hey, it's not. I mean, you see, you can have 20 offers from
Yep.
2020, like 20 great schools, 20 big offers, but at the end of the day, you're gonna try to go to the place that actually fits you.
Hmm.
And it's about a relationship. It's about how you get along with the people who are recruiting you. And if you go to that school and you feel like it's actually fitting, because usually when you visit a place, you get to meet people that are around the program, the players, and me personally, when I go out, it's okay. How is this kid interacting with me? Is because
Mm.
at the end of the day, like when you go to a place and ask like coaches, hey, are they'll tell you everything. When you ask a coach, they'll
Right.
tell
Right.
you what kind of guy, what kind of kid he is, what is his grades, is he a
Yep.
good athlete, and I mean all those things you can actually see, and someone can give you an evaluation of that. But at the end of the day, it's about how is the kid interacting with me, and
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
to me that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing.
Okay. Expand on that, man, because you hear about the height, weight, and all that stuff. We all know measurables, whatever. That just comes with the territory. But when you talk about the interaction point, that's something I think parents and players need to hear, because I don't think you hear that spoken a lot. So expand on the interaction. So when you say interaction, are you talking about the way they speak, the way they look at you, how they hold the conversation? What do they do? What are you specifically targeting when you say the interaction between you and the player?
Well, obviously everything everything starts with me with a handshake, right? Like
Okay.
you come up, and I don't know, and this is one of the things I really learned about in Auburn, because I was working in the rec there. The
Okay.
first thing they taught you was how to handshake, and it was you make eye contact with someone, you look them in the eye, you smile, you say your name, you give them a firm handshake. That is the
Right.
biggest thing to me. Like the first thing you do is just you have a handshake. If it's a good one, you're okay. This might be
Right.
something, but
Right.
um, some guys like to dab you up and everything. That's great too, but
Yep.
and
Yep.
I don't have a preference. It's just a matter of like how you present yourself as a person,
Okay.
how you carry yourself. Are you the kind of guy that likes to speak, or if you don't like to speak, it's fine. But let's say if I ask you a question, hey, do you love football? And then they just say, yeah. I mean,
Mm.
that don't tell me that you love
Mm.
football. Like if you ask you
Yeah.
love football,
Yeah.
yeah, I love the feeling. I like like the feeling right up before the kickoff, or the halftime feeling.
Right.
There's some more to it. Um, and then at the end of the day, like if you're trying to lie, or if you're trying to present yourself as someone you're not,
Hmm.
like everyone can smell that. Like everyone can see that.
Right.
It's just about you and your personality. You try to be yourself,
Right.
and and again, it goes back to you don't fit in every program, and not every program has fits you.
Right.
So at the end of the day, is again, it goes to you being yourself, and about where do you fit? Because there's
Love
gonna
it.
be many people that contact you, and again, there's only one to two, maybe three programs that you actually fit in.
Man, I love it. So, okay. So now I like you said that. So you said, where do you fit? So let's get into the recruiting element. All right. So now you're out on the road. You're doing your thing. Okay. You're looking for the players. And we get into the recruiting side of football now. As a coach, when I'm going down, I'm evaluating talent. What are those things that you're looking for? What are the key traits that you guys are looking for in certain players? All right. We know about the size, the speed, all the ability type of metrics. But what is going to make Coach Delgado get on a car, get in the car, get on a plane, and come and look at that kid? What are the things that's gonna make you do that?
Uh, Obviously, like when I'm watching a tape, is are you running like to your 100%? You
Okay.
know, it's about, to me, it's about effort, right?
Okay.
There's Everyone has limitations. Don't matter who you are, whether you're a 5 star, you have 3 stars, no stars. Everyone has a limitation on something, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about, are you trying to put yourself to be the best you can, or are you not? But
Right.
if a kid has good band, can actually change direction and all that kind of things, like actually that catches your eye, right? That's the first thing we
Right.
see as a coach. We see your
Okay.
film, and we like seeing good plays and stuff, but like we also like to see how well you run. You may not have done the play in that particular clip. Like if I
Mm-hmm.
see you running 100%, I'm gonna be like, okay, I see something there.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know,
Got a
I'm
little
clear to
something.
see
Yeah.
something. Um,
Yeah.
and then the other thing again is just how you coach presents you, right? Um, what they say about you, like what kind of guy you see, like those all those things. But at the end of the day, your film should show what kind of player you are and how hard are you playing and how much you love the game, if that makes sense.
Right. Right. So let me ask you this then. Okay. Now this is where I need you to get real and raw for me. Okay.
All right.
Because when I showed this to the parents, he said it. I didn't. What are the truths of recruiting? Here's why. All right. So me being on the high school level, man, you get a lot of guys that believe that they're Division One. All right. You get a lot of parents that think that uh, FCS, D2, D3, NAIA, whatever, is beneath my son. Okay. That's cool. But your son doesn't have any offers right now. All right. So let's just keep it real. Okay. So as a coach, man, and if you have the opportunity to sit in front of a group of parents and you got the opportunity to tell them just the straight up truth, what are the truths about recruiting? What do they really need to know? What lies have they been told? What are those things that you can tell parents?
What lies have they been told?
Yeah, go. Yeah, come on, give it to me, man. What you got?
Man, if someone tells you you're gonna play right away, that's a lie.
Yep. Yep.
There's no way to know that you're gonna play right away. At the end of the day, that
Mm-hmm.
depends on you and it's other factors like the situation you're gonna walk into. But if
Right.
someone comes in and they say they can guarantee you're gonna play, that's not gonna happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
to me is okay, if there's a good chance that a kid is gonna play, you can tell them, hey, there's a good chance you play, but there's also a good chance that you not play, right?
Right. Right.
The other thing, I don't know, people lie. The other thing, the other big thing, you should be, you know, thinking when someone comes in and recruit is if someone talks trash about another program, that should be a red flag for you. Like there should
Ooh.
be something that okay, this may not be, to me, at least to me, this may not be a good fit, right?
Right.
Um,
Right.
I don't know what other thing, man. Honestly, I don't know. Like, be honest with you.
Well. Because the reason why I asked that, man, so you get a lot of guys that talk about camps, for example. You get a lot of people, or a lot of parents that ask me about these recruiting services that they pay for. You get a lot of this, a lot of that, and a lot of times I tell them like, look, man, the film, it all boils down to the film.
Mhm.
If you don't showcase yourself on the film, then uh, you really don't have much of a resume. And so that's why I wanted to, get guys like you on the call, man, to be able to share some insight on that. What do they need to do? What are the things that are important? What are the things that'll help get them out there? Like what we have with our national team, for example, being able to get guys extra film you get to see them and evaluate more. What are those things that when I talk about the truths that they need to know is either helping or hurting them? That's what I'm asking, and if you can expand on that, man, that would be good to be able to answer those questions for the parent.
Well, I would say like the biggest thing is Twitter. Twitter is huge.
Ooh, okay, go ahead. Yeah, why? Why? Tell me
I'm
why.
gonna tell you what, man. Every time a kid follows me, he pops up over on my phone.
Okay,
Every time a kid follow me, I look at his profile. Every single time. I never miss one. Every single
okay,
time. Obviously, I'm not an FSU coach where 1,000 kids follows me in a day, right?
right, right. Yep, yep.
But at least on the level right now is like if a kid shows interest in me, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time just to go into his profile and see what is going on,
Okay, okay,
right? And then there's something that catches my eye. I'm just gonna try to dig in and see what's up, right?
right.
Um, recruiting services, honestly, with you, like be honest with you, I get I don't know 10, 20 emails a day
Okay,
from recruiting services, and I'm be honest with you, I don't check them all. I'm not an email
thank
guy.
you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm
Uh-huh.
not an email guy. I
Yeah,
don't. I
right.
might like skim through it, just see there's something that catches my eye, and again, when you have so much information going through, like measures are gonna be one of the factors. That is one of
Okay,
the things that are gonna be okay. But if there's I don't know picture something that might have like catch your attention, that's something, right?
right, right.
Um, again, it goes to the film, and then don't be afraid to reach out. Like if you're interested in the program, don't be afraid to reach out. Like send an email, like go on the website and just see who the coaches are. Usually, a lot of like all D2 coaches has their email on the
Hmm.
website. Send them an email. Like you want to
Love
play
it.
for that program, go for it. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
just same deal. Even if it's not the coach, if you want to play like an FCS level, when I was at FAMU,
Yep.
I had to do this a lot. Uh, the coaches did not have the email on the website, but our director of operations did. So people will email him, and I was the one that had to go through it and just filter out like, hey, who's got a shot to play with us, who
Right,
doesn't, and just
right.
pass it through the coaches after that. But
Man, I don't mean to cut you, but how effective is that? Okay, because that's one of the things that I say all the time. I remember when I was coming out of high school. I graduated with '06, right? So I'm over there sending tapes out. I'm like, man, look, I'm taking it into my own hands. I was aggressive. Now that you got the social media part, you got the Twitters, the Instagrams of the world. How effective of a strategy is that? Is that something that the players and parents should implement? Should they just be flooding coaches with stuff, just trying to get them to get on the radar? How effective is that?
um, if you email a coach 2 or 3 times, I mean they have to notice at least once,
Thank you.
at
Thank
least
you.
once.
Thank you.
So it's a matter of like okay, is once they notice, if they don't reply, if you email like 10 times and they don't reply, there's a good chance they don't want you, right?
Okay. Yep.
Um, and again, it goes back to finding to a spot where you belong and a spot to actually fits you, and the kind of spot where you can actually play football.
Right.
Um, because not everyone can play FBS, not everyone can play FCS, not everyone can play D2, not everyone can play D3 or NAI.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta find your level of football. The other thing I will say is, and then this is coming up, summer's coming up. Go to camps, get in
Yep.
front of people, talk to people, like just try to meet people who are in that. And uh, like we as coaches, we know each other, and then if we think that there's a kid that may not be able to play here, but it could play in somewhere else, we're probably gonna push him to another coach that we think, okay, this kid,
Right.
hey, this kid could actually play with you. Hit him up, or something like that. Just again, it goes back to
Love
relationships.
it. And I love it. And you said something. I think you said something that I want to touch on. You said know who you are. Okay.
Mhm.
As a player between D1, FCS, and all that. Okay. So I want to ask you this question because I've been thinking about it since we got on. You talked about your journey, right? You talking about how you got into coaching in Auburn, Florida State, FAMU, all that. what is the difference in the caliber of player that you've seen from the high level Division 1 all the way down to the NAIA level? What is that caliber of player? What separates those guys? What have you noticed in that?
Well, biggest thing, in Division 1, everyone's good.
Yeah.
Everyone can do the same things. What separates
Yeah.
good and great players is number one is going to be your grades.
Okay.
If you don't have the grades to play Division 1, you're not going to go Division 1.
Okay.
Right? If you don't, now the other thing is just how you want to work for it. If you're good, doesn't mean you're going to play. It means you got a
Mm.
chance to play. Doesn't mean you're going to play.
Yeah. Yep.
And the biggest difference is, again, it goes to like small things. It's just how hard you're willing to work, your grades,
Yep.
and again, exposure is good. I mean, exposure makes a difference, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not all of it. Like at the end of the day, it's just your athletic ability is gonna open. It's gonna put one foot in front in the door.
Yep.
The only thing it's gonna do. The rest
Right.
is gonna come to a lot of different things and factors that you should be able to control. But at the end of the day, it's you. So I think that's the difference. I remember one time, who was it? I don't remember who it was. Was it FAMU? Was it FB, FC? I don't know. I think it was I think it was here when I got here. Somebody asked me, "Hey, what's the difference?" And oh, I remember now. So there was this kid last year that played at the FCS level.
Okay.
So he ended up here with us, and then he knew he was a safety. He knew I worked with safeties at Florida State, and then
Okay.
he came to me and asked me, "Hey, what's the difference between those players and those the players you've seen and to me?" And I just said, be honest with you, like you're a hell of a player, but the biggest difference right now is you don't have the grace to play Division 1.
Right.
That was
Yep.
it. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
He was a great player. He had everything you wanted: the size, the speed, the IQ, the aggressiveness. He just couldn't
Yeah.
do it in the classroom, and that's why he ended up playing over here. But
Wow. Yep.
it's just small
Yeah,
things
man.
that
Those
separate
are
small things. That's what it is.
exactly. Exactly. I love it. Now, let's get into it this way. So I know, like we talked before, and I know that you said you'll be down on the 27th for the game, man. Now, when we talk about that, let's talk about the in-person evaluation.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's game day. All right. And I know everybody wants to see the highlights, the runs, this, that, and the other. But what are the things that you're looking at that people don't normally think of? Okay. I'm a coach. I'm coming down. I got my chart. I'm eyeing you. What are you evaluating outside of the lines when it comes to the in-person evaluation?
Well, how you relate to teammates? I think that's huge.
Okay.
Um, if I
Okay.
come down when I go see a practice or a game or whatever it is, like all your nonverbal communication, right? Your body language,
Mm,
how you
okay.
how people interact around you. Are you the kind of guy that throws their hands up or does this with a helmet or throws it on the
Yeah.
ground
Yep. Yep.
or
Yep.
gets demolished in the play and then gets up fast and gets ready for the next play. Those are things that I pay attention to. Are you trying
Right.
to be? And again, I'm a big guy that I believe in the process. I believe if you take care of the process, the results are gonna come out hopefully
Right.
in a positive way. But at the end of the day, like not every play is gonna be a highlight. Are you trying to run 100% on every play? And then are you
Yep.
encouraging your teammates? Are you talking to them? Are you the kind of guy that communicates with them? Or maybe you're not a guy that talks a lot, but do they see you as a leader? Those are the kind of things I look at. And how you talk to your coach, how you respond to coaching. That's huge. If I see a
Mm.
kid that is getting coached hard, I mean, this is football. You're gonna get yelled at least one time
It
in
is what
at
it
least.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But are
is
you
what
gonna
it
be able
is.
to
Yep.
respond to that? That's the thing. And those things are now I can't be on the field and be right next to you and listening to exactly everything you're saying, but if you're from afar, all you can see is just body language.
Yeah.
So that, to me, that's huge.
You know what? You just made me think of another question. What about, okay, let me ask you this. How important is the parent evaluation when you're evaluating kids? How much of a factor does that play? Because I've heard it, a couple different ways from different people, but I want to hear from you. Like, how much does it ding or does it help a kid when it comes to the parent evaluation as well?
Well, be honest with you, like parents are involved in a player's life in college,
Mm-hmm.
but to me, a player's life, it's their own life. They're gonna, at the end of the day,
Right.
they're gonna make the decisions, right? When they get on campus, they're gonna be the ones that they're gonna decide whether to show up at practice or not, whether to
Right.
work out or not, give it 100% or not. Um,
Right.
I think a relationship with the families, I think it's important. It is important, and it'll tell you a lot from a kid, what kind of person he has, what kind of values was he raised on, those type of things. But at the end of the day, uh, there's kids that have a much better situations than other kids, and that's that tells you, okay, he may be used to like maybe a struggle, he may not be used to a struggle. Like that'll tell you like a kind of like a background of what kind of person he is. And
Right.
but at the end of the day, like if I mean, I've never had this situation happen to me where I completely hate a parent or that type of things. Like I've never had. Every
Right.
parent that I have met so far has been an enjoyable, experience, and it tells me a lot about who the kid is and where they come from. But I think it is important. I think it's important for parents to be involved in the recruiting, just because they can actually help the player, make the decision, and they may have
Right.
a different opinion of like of where to go or where to not go, because at the end of the day, like you know if you're a 17, 16-year old that has offers to go these places and you have no idea where's a good place to you, like maybe your parents can help you, like
Right. Yep.
they have the information as well. They have a lot more experience than you in life and have seen, have seen a lot of different things. But I think it's important to, be involved, just um, what kind of person is going to be raising my kid the next 4 years. And
Right.
because we, as college coaches, we're not just football coaches. We we develop young men, and we're trying to, at least me, I'm trying to, this is the way I make the world better. I'm trying to make
Right.
all my players that come through me, I'm trying to change their lives and make a positive impact and hopefully change their lives to something, at the end of the day, try to make them understand that this world is not going to get better unless we want to get better and get back to it.
Right.
So
Right.
is to me is okay, what kind of coach is going to be coaching my kid, is going to be pretty much raising him the next 4 years and help him out become a young man and a productive person in society. To me, those things, that's the value I see, and parents get involved because they have a different view of, okay, maybe they'll, I always say this, like programs will try to put a lot of shiny things in front of you about, the helmets and the uniforms, the towels and all those nice things, but it's about who's the people in the building, and
Yep.
who's
Yep.
gonna who's gonna develop me to become the best person and the best football player that I can be. And I think parents have a really, really, like a really good opinion on, when you meet a coach, it's like he may give you good vibes or not, or bad vibes that maybe a recruit may not pick up, you know.
Right. Yep.
Say that
Yep.
would be important, as as a parent trying to get involved in it.
I love it. I love it. I love it, Coach. Well, shoot, man, I really appreciate your time. I know you guys have busy schedules, man, doing all that. And to wrap it up, what would you say to the kid that feels like he's being overlooked? The process ain't going his way. things ain't working out. What would you leave them with, man, as we close, to kind of encourage them? What would that be?
Man, just play football. Play. Especially we just started going through 2025. So there's a lot of kids that has no absolutely no film,
Yeah.
and just enjoy the process. It's not about, and again, I'm a big guy that believes in the process, not really the result. Enjoy the process, is work hard, see how far you can go. And it's the same thing for me, is just I just want to see how far I can go, right?
Yep.
In this coaching thing, this coaching career. Um
Right.
that's why I crossed the border and I just decided to go community college and then do all these things. And now here I
Yep.
am, right? And I just want to see how far I can go. It's just keep trying. Don't football. There's thousands of programs in this country, and there I promise you, there's at least one that fits you. So
Right.
it's not about. And again, everyone is in their own on their own race, right? Now, just because someone just finished the race like first doesn't mean I'm not gonna finish the race. I mean, I just gotta keep running, right?
Right.
So
Yep.
I would say that's the biggest thing, man. Just don't get discouraged. Just again, I mentioned a few things you can do, but everyone's story is different. It's just
Yeah.
your story is your own story. You're gonna write it, right? So
Love
just
it.
just keep
Love it.
trying.
Well, shoot, man, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate the time that you gave us, all the insight. I know the parents will really enjoy it, man, to just be able to understand what's really going on in this world of recruiting, especially the ones that are trying to navigate it. So, man, look, I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you soon, man, meeting you,
Absolutely.
and having you introduced to the guys. So, man, look, man, have a good rest of the day, and we'll be in touch soon.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me. Have a good day, man.
All right. Appreciate it. You too.